Okay, so you've entered one of Cycling Weekly's fantastic Adventure Cross events, Beyond the Tarmac. We thought it might be quite useful to sort of walk you through what we suggest that you carry in a CamelBak to look after both yourself and your bike and keep you rolling through the events. So first up's hydration. What we found is with water bottles and cyclocross bikes, they bounce out the cage when you hit a bump. You come through a mucky bit of trail and the nozzle valve gets all covered with all sorts of muck. You really don't want to be putting that close to your mouth. So a CamelBak bladder is perfect. It's a bit cleaner and it allows you to carry a volume of water that will see you around the route, or at least between the various different feed stations on the routes as well. So CamelBak rather than a bottle. Looking after your body again, definitely pack some form of waterproof, windproof jacket. If it's in the Lake District, you'll probably be wearing it from the start, but to have an overlayer, an outer layer packed away at the bottom of your CamelBak, that's really useful as well. So looking after hydration, some people like gels, some people like bars, some people like shot blocks, some people like real food, or most of us like maybe a little bit of a mix. So there's one feed station on all the Adventure Cross short routes and 2 on the long routes at each event this year. So make sure you carry enough food at least to get you round between the various feed stations that are spaced around the route that you choose. Don't try anything in an event that you haven't tried in training, because that's a surefire recipe to upset your stomach. So, you know, if you haven't used caffeine gels before, try them in training before you try them in an event to avoid an upset stomach. Okay, other things that we recommend that you carry in your CamelBak: small first aid kit, just something. You know, all the events have mobile medics and first aiders, but we recommend that you carry a first aid kit just to deal with any small abrasions that you might pick up en route. As mentioned earlier, Adventure Cross does go off-road, takes you into some fairly remote places at times, so we suggest that you carry an emergency blanket with you at all times. If you have an incident, or if you come across a participant that's had an incident, a foil emergency blanket and a windproof, waterproof jacket can go a long way to keeping them warm until further assistance arrives. So another thing that we suggest that you have in your CamelBak is a whistle. Should you need to track detention, that's a very conspicuous way of doing so. Okay, so we've looked at what you need to keep yourself running and some basic sort of first aid items that we recommend that you carry with you. So about your bike, first aid for your bike. So all our events have mobile mechanics and some fixed mechanics points, but should you have an incident, let's discuss some of the more common ones and what you can do, what you can carry with you to keep you rolling, at least to get to the next mechanical point. So I suppose the first thing is broken chain. Not uncommon if you're familiar with mountain biking or Adventure Cross riding. So you need a chain tool so you can push the rivet out of the chain, and you need a quick link as well. Just make sure if it's 10-speed system you're running that there are 10-speed quick links, 9-speed, 9-speed, etc, etc. You see all sorts of things with people saving all that 3 grams of weight by cutting down the chain tool. Cold day, you can't grip that, doesn't work, so don't bother about shaving off the odd gram. Have something that actually works on the day. Latex gloves or other gloves if you've got a latex allergy, really handy. If you've got a broken chain and it's oily and it's all messy, stick those on and it keeps your hands reasonably clean, and when you get to the feed station you're not eating the contents of your chain. Also really handy if you've got a cut or an abrasion, or you're helping somebody else with one as well. So you've got your inner tubes, you've got patch kit. Glueless patch kit's quite good because it actually can work in the wet, whereas regular glue doesn't stick very well or at all if it's wet. Take your tyre off, you're going to need some tyre levers. I prefer metal ones. I know they can scratch alloy rims, but I've had so many plastic ones over the years snap on me when they've actually been forced into service when they're really needed. So a couple of tyre levers, and of course a pump, and making sure that the pump fitting is actually the right one for the valves that you're using, which are normally would be Presta. Next up's a multi-tool. There's no point in having a multi-tool that doesn't fit anything in your bike or only fits half the things in your bike. So a comprehensive, high quality multi-tool. Don't go bargain basement. You don't need to go top quality as well. Middle of the range, good quality. Yeah, there's a little bit of weight in it, but lots of options there that'll help keep your bike rolling. A couple of other tricks. Certainly carry a spare gear cable inner wire. You get a broken cable, you can replace that relatively quickly, and that will keep you rolling as well. You might want to consider carrying a brake inner wire as well, just in case you snap a brake cable. If you've got the inner wires and you've got the multi-tool, you can change those at the side of the trail. And a gear hanger for your bike, preferably the specific model for your bike. You pick up a stick, twist the rear mech, snaps the gear hanger. That leaves you with only really one option of making it into a kind of single speed, unless you've got a gear hanger for your bike. So one that fits your bike and is the design model for it's perfect. If not, an emergency gear hanger like that would be available from good bike shops. And finally, just another couple of items that are kind of, you know, that kind of Heath Robinson repair, just to keep you rolling and running. Zip ties, they've got umpteen uses. If you snap a saddle clamp, you can zip tie your saddle back onto the seat post sometimes with a web of different zip ties. If your free hub body snaps and you've got no drive, you can turn your bike into a fixie and by zip tying the cassette onto the spokes at various points. So really to do with emergency running repairs that kind of keep you going to the next feed station or to the next mechanical point. Roll of black electrical tape, again, it comes in handy for all sorts of various uses. So that's what we suggest you have at minimum in your CamelBak.